Hello, Twitch chat and YouTube. Welcome back to another set of Mythic. No, still not Mythic Society. Rest in peace, Mythic Society. ManaTraders qualifier matches. We're 4 matches in. We went 2-2 in our last session. Basically, we're just going to play our qualification matches. Probably look to play maybe 6 matches during this set and get up to 10 total matches and see where we're at in terms of what kind of win percentage we need to qualify. I'm going to play a little bit more with this base blue PO deck. It's definitely something that I'm considering for playing in the showcase challenge, which is this weekend. Make sure you're here on Saturday at 1 p.m. Eastern for that. There's a lot of really nice upsides with this list. Having a bunch of basics really mitigates the effect of Wasteland. Having a bunch of dress downs really mitigates the effect of these hate bear decks like Bug that are playing Oof and Leovold. And I'm really liking the low win con with just Yogg-Will, Citadel, and Karn. I think the changes that I made since the last video, I'm going to be changing the deck 1 card at a time in between games. So if I do change a card in between games, I'll let the audience know at the start of each round. But I think what I'm doing is I believe that the ManaTraders metagame will be a lot different than the League metagame. When I'm playing Leagues, I'm seeing leagues that have 4 Doomsday 1 PO. That was a league that I played this week. 4 Doomsday 1 PO. So when I was playing in leagues, I was playing with a Mystic Remora in my main deck, and a Citadel as my Tinker target. What I'm seeing from people playing the ManaTraders is an enormous amount of Bug, a decently high amount of shops. And so what I did is I took the Mystic Remora out, and I'm just going to play the main deck Sphinx as a second Tinker target. Just as an additional hedge against a bug heavy metagame. I think the best way for a Tinker deck to combat a bunch of new bug players who just copy and pasted a list, or stubborn old bug players, is just to Sphinx them. If you're not playing a bug deck that has a main deck answer to Sphinx at this point, or even a sideboard answer to Sphinx at this point, I don't know what else to tell you. Every time I tell you, you can't do that, but they do it anyways. So I think it's just the best way to deal with the matchup. One thing I did is I took out the repeal, and I wanted a different merchant scroll target that I could get when I wanted card advantage, but didn't have the mana or artifacts to play PO. Historically, that card is usually Dig Through Time, but I don't really have the Preordain spell base to support Dig Through Time. I don't really think Dress Down works in the same capacity that Preordain does in supporting Delve spells. And so what we're going to try for at least a couple games is we're going to try to have a 1-of Thirst for Knowledge. That way you can merchant scroll for it. It helps with the fact that you have 2 Tinker targets that you don't typically want to cast. You can cast both Bolas, Citadel, and Sphinx in your main deck. That's very castable. I've definitely hard cast both of them this week. But having the ability to ditch an artifact when there's a Collector Roof in play or something like that sounds interesting to me. So we're gonna try 1 Thirst for Knowledge as a merchant scroll target. In the sideboard, I've upped my Hull Breacher count just as a nod to the Remora that I took out of the main deck in terms of opposing PO decks, Doomsday, that kind of thing. And then I changed my anti-graveyard or anti-bazaar hate to just be 4 Needle. I think Needle is the best graveyard or the best piece of bazaar hate you can play, especially when you can't really afford to play Leyline of the Void in this deck. So I'm just done messing around with a Soul Guide Lantern or a Tormod's Crypt. I'm just gonna play 4 Needle, and that'll be my answer. I still am gonna play the 1 Lattice to make Karn a win condition. The whole idea behind the low win condition version of this deck is that you don't have to play bad cards like Brain Freeze or Tendrils of Agony, or even kind of Mentor, though I kind of don't consider Mentor in the same category as those. And this way, you have these cards that are doing something else normally, where you're playing Karn is just fantastic in the artifact-based mirrors, and Yogg-Will is just fantastic in the blue battles, just as a normal Magic card, but it also doubles as, well, Karn can get Lattice and win. Well, Yogg-Will can activate Citadel twice and win, and that way your cards that are just normally good are also your win cons, and you don't have to have dead cards like Tendrils of Agony or Brain Freeze. So that's what I'm trying to do with this list and the couple changes that we made. And like I said, the nice part about this ManaTraders qualifying section is that you don't even have to play the same deck every round. I could, choose any deck each and every game. So maybe we'll just change a card or two as we go along today, and we'll see where we end up, because I do want to see if a deck like this is something that I want to play for the showcase, because I am leaning towards some kind of PO deck for the showcase. It's just what I think I have the highest chance of winning with, regardless of if the PO deck is strong in the metagame or whatnot. I guess a quick note, you will still see that there are 0 sagas in this deck. I have only doubled down on my opinion that Urza Saga, especially with a metagame that can be upwards of 30% Deathrite Shaman decks, adding on an additional 15% Bazaar of Baghdad Force of Vigor decks, I think Urza Saga is a trap, and it makes your deck worse. Every time your Urza Saga gets Force of Vigored, you almost always lose the game. Urza Saga, when your opponent plays a Collector Roof, ends up being a land with Vanishing, and I just think, at least in blue-based Saga decks, I think Saga is harming your deck more than helping your deck and making you extremely vulnerable to the current metagame. I don't think that's the case with playing Saga in Golos stacks, for instance, where I think Saga enhances your deck by giving you a fast clock. But in terms of blue decks that play Urza Saga, I'm still of the opinion I'm not going anywhere near it. So that's just my take. There are plenty of other powerful wizards who don't have the same take as me in regards to like Saga and PO, Saga and Hullbreacher, that kind of thing. But for me, I want to stay away from that card if I can possibly do so. All right, first match of the day for ManaTraders, currently sitting at 2 wins, 2 losses. This hand seems fine. It's going to have problems versus Bazaar, but against everything else, it should be reasonable. My opponent is on Workshops, and they have a Strip Mine and a turn 1 Karn. So we're going to lose. Probably. That is certainly an opening hand. Can we do anything about this? I don't think we can. We're just gonna have to play it out. They're gonna go Lotus, Sapphire, Workshop, Sphere. Well, they can't Sphere first, but they can Sphere after the Karn. And I can't even play the basic island. I have to play the fetch land. There's like something to be said about conceding. But we do have an active Tinker and a Sphinx in our deck, so if we can work our way up to 4 basic lands, maybe. Well, they have a Strip Mine, so it's going to be tough. Oh, maybe I can't even play this because they're going to Karn and kill it. I don't know what combination of us playing cards, and yeah, I guess I can't actually play this because they're just going to... Wait a second. They just... Okay, resolves. I don't think that's the sequence you wanted to play your cards in, opponent, because now you cannot cast this Karn. Still can't cast Karn. Karn is not an artifact. All right, so can we win based on opponent's misplay? Yes, we can draw Black Lotus. And we can Tinker a Sphinx. Kind of it. This is why I was saying opponent had to play Karn first and then Sphere of Resistance. Unfortunately, we just can't play around this Strip Mine in any capacity. I think we're supposed to play... Oh, this is not even good to play, so... I don't know. I don't know what I'm supposed to do here. I guess playing this gets us closer to Mox Opal, but Mox Opal is going to be turned off after next turn, so there's just... I guess I can't even draw into a Force because everything costs 1 more. Maybe I wasn't even supposed to play... They played the Wasteland? I guess they don't need to Strip Mine because they're trying to Karn. Okay. Does drawing with this top get me anywhere? No. So we just get Karned and be sad. So if we draw a basic land here, we can't cast Tinker or Narset because they cost 4. And then... Okay, they're tutoring this turn. Alright, so if we draw Tolarian Academy, we can get a Sphinx of the Steel Wind. They got a Null Rod with their Karn, which seems interesting, seeing as their Karn is a Null Rod. Alright, I mean, we have outs again. Tolarian is our 1 in 50. So this would have been Repeal, which is not very useful anyways. I don't see really any way we're going to play this game. They definitely could have cast Null Rod, but then they're going to turn off their Mox Sapphire, which they probably need to do something. Oh, they chose to plus and kill my Opal now. And then they got a Ghost Quarter. They have a Strip Mine in their hand. I wonder if there's any value if they Ghost Quarter me to conceding. Just say that we don't have more than 2 basics. They're not even going to Ghost Quarter me. I have no idea. My opponent seems to be making actions at random. I mean, if I play this Underground Sea, will they choose not to Wasteland it? I guess that's my out, right? I guess my out is to see if they just choose not to Wasteland my Underground Sea. Oh, yeah, I mean, turn 1 Karn against PO is usually going to win you the game. Okay, I think what they're doing is they're keeping all their land so they can just cast Lattice here. Yeah. Which is not the way that I would play that if I was my opponent, but... it does win the game. If I was my opponent, I would have strip mined me at the first convenience, and then I don't know, anything other than what they did, basically. But they got me, so yeah. If I drew a Force of Will, this just counters this. But okay, so we're gonna change the Sphinx for a Blightsteel, and we're gonna bring in Hurkyl's Recall and Echoing Truth. And we may bring in some Needles depending on how else we board. It's because we're going to be boarding out Flusterstorms and Missteps and some number of Dress Downs for sure. And probably Narset and Thirst. Most of our cards are quite bad. But let's see what else we can do here. We can bring in Needle on something, but like we're pretty good against Wasteland, so we don't typically need Needle in this matchup. I'm going to leave in Narset and Thirst, as they seem to have a little bit higher upside, and then maybe I'm gonna keep 2 Needles, or 1 Needle and 2 Dress Down. I could bring in Hold Breachers as just a flash dude, but I don't really find that to be very good. So I think this is just where I'm looking at right now. The main key in this matchup is that you're bringing in up to 4 Hurkyl's Recall, so. And you're like super insulated against Ghost Quartered lock, because you have 4 islands. So I mean, I think it's pretty good. It's a pretty good matchup. It's not as good as like PO versus aggro shops, but it's pretty strong. And I don't think it's unreasonable to have Citadel and Blightsteel, but it's not really necessary either. Okay, this is a pretty good hand. I've got a Force of Will. I have a turn 1 Narset to draw 2 cards. This is definitely a point where like, on the play, maybe you want to keep in your Narset and your Thirst and that kind of thing, because there's a pretty high upside of being able to jam them on turn 1. Our hand doesn't really do much, so we are looking for our Narset to find us a Tinker, basically. Our Narset could also theoretically find us... What the hell is happening? I'm getting Mindbreak Trapped? I'm not getting Mindbreak Trapped. It looked like I was getting Mindbreak Trapped, but then I did not get Mindbreak Trapped, so I'm very confused. That's bad. That's quite bad. We definitely wanted a land, and we definitely didn't want to Dress Down. So I was gonna say another thing that the Narset could do is the Narset could get us a Moxen, and then we force their sphere, and then we play. Then our Narset gets us a PO. But oh yeah, definitely not supposed to play around Mindbreak Trap in any capacity on that turn. It's definitely definitely true. Sphere. I feel like I can play through a sphere pretty easily, but also just forcing it is pretty reasonable as well. I can obviously play a second sphere if I force it, which makes it a little worse to be forcing this. Missing out on 3 lands was detrimental to my ideas of letting this resolve. So I'm just going to force this and pitch. I'm gonna go with Dress Down. I think the snap has some utility with basically with this Narset. So, but they could easily have second sphere here, and it looks really stupid that I forced this. So, yep. Unfortunate. That was definitely something I considered, but I don't know.
MBT.
I drew the PO, so if this Narset can find me some fast mana, and then we can maybe Echoing Truth the Sphere. Okay, did find me fast mana. Alright, unfortunately this Echoing Truth is not Hercules. I would like it to have been Hercules, but you can only play 4 Hercules Recall, so we're gonna have to see how powerful the spell that they play this turn is. We would have been in a rougher spot if we had let this force a Saphir resolve, because they would have played their second sphere this turn and we wouldn't have been able to Echoing Truth. Okay, they don't have a follow-up play, so I am gonna just Echoing Truth their sphere and go off. If they Mindbreak Trap me afterwards, I don't really care. And we can just get a bunch of value here. Karn. Or I could just play this Karn. I think that's worse. I think I would rather draw 4. We just have to be aware that we could get Hercules, or we could get Mindbreak Trap at the end of this. We didn't end up drawing any mana sources. But they're F6'd. So what is our best play? We could Hercules Recall ourselves to gain an additional mana, and then we could PO for 3 again. We could Ponder and then Hercules ourselves for the additional mana to have 3 mana plus whatever we draw off of Ponder, which could theoretically be better because we could draw an additional Moxen. But if we miss, then it's pretty bad as we just have no follow-up. I guess we have a Narset follow-up no matter what. I think I'd like to PO again. I'm gonna Hercules myself. Perfect. All right, so we have won this game. I will PO again, though. There's no reason not to at this point. Still haven't hit a land until right now. Does this land give us enough to snap a PO? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. It does not. So we have a Force, we have a Hercules, we can just go for a Citadel, we can just go for a Blightsteel. I think I'm just gonna put a Citadel in play and not show them Blightsteel and just continue going off. Maybe that's not necessary. I can tinker for a top. Maybe this was worse. Okay. Let's continue playing the free mana sources. All right, well, I guess it doesn't actually matter. Yeah, so I tinker off this Mox and I play that Mox, which is nice. All right, so we don't show them Blightsteel, which is, I don't think that will matter, but it technically could matter. And I think we just resubmit with how we are. So as long as we dodge the turn 1 Karn and then make random game actions, should be okay. This hand is bad. We have a non-basic land. We have no force of will. We don't have a ton of Moxen. We don't have, we don't have like anything happening for us here. I'm gonna mulligan this. This hand is also bad. You can't keep a no lander versus shops with no force. I'm gonna put that back. This is our 5-card hand. Again, a no lander, and it's not even particularly good if we draw a land. So 4-card hand, I guess. And that's our best hand by a large amount. Force to the bottom. Pearl Opal to the bottom. And just go for a tinker. Damn. 2 years for not me. Thank you, not me. It's good to have you around. Is this gonna be a sphere? Gonna be a null rod. Yeah. Yep. So we can top deck a Hercules plus a land. Nice Moxen. Golos or Crucible, yep. If they don't have anything here, we could just vamp for an Ancestral. I'm not really convinced vamping for an Ancestral is good, because I do have to fetch an Underground Sea. But the problem is I need to draw 2 specific things, so I think I'm just going to draw 3 randoms. I guess I don't have to draw 2 specific things. I think Ancestral is right here. I need a lot of help. Maybe it's not. I don't know. The problem is 3 random cards is not very good because we have so many dead draws. But I hate this game so much. We have gotten very unlucky in the games 1 and 3 here. But yep, that's the problem with vamping for Ancestral. Now I could have just held the vamp or I could have vamped for Tolarian Academy. I don't know. My opponent has played a bunch of cards that don't matter, and this is like my biggest problem with the Golos deck is my opponent has played out their hand of 5 and 6 cards, and just only one of them really matters, and they're just giving me infinite time. So like if I draw Island here or Tolarian and Time Walk and like there's just tons of ways this can go well. Obviously we can't tinker because of Cage, but I mean we can just draw Hercules. Like it's pretty fine. I mean we mulliganed to 4, and we had a turn 2 kill. So no, I don't think we did the same. Like we mulliganed to 4 and we were going to tinker them on turn 2. So all right, so this is this is why I like Urza Saga in my opponent's deck. It's going to clock me pretty fast here. Oh, and they also have Karn with exactly 4. Yeah, cool. Yeah, I mean, I think we just got hit by extreme variance in this set, but what am I to do? Of course. How do I win this game? I just don't, right? They just play a lattice and I die. It feels really rough to lose this set because our opponent clearly demonstrated they didn't really know how their deck worked, but we couldn't really do anything to stop them because we just didn't have a Force of Will in our opener in game 1, and then in game 2,
If we only had
same
fast
thing.
bond.
Hey Schultz, how's it going? You don't really get to have Force of Will in your opener when you mull to 4, so they just chose not to lattice us. Like, nothing my opponent does makes any sense. I can't stop it from resolving. 3, 2, like... I don't want to play this game anymore because I'm just going to get tilted. So let's just go to the next one. All right, let's try again this time with keepable 7s. Yeah. Yeah, I'm gonna keep that. So what I can do here is Opal, Pearl, Ruby, Demonic, Tolarian, PO for 3. And if it doesn't go well after PO, then I can Mystical Tinker. But if it does go well after PO, we'll probably win, so. Obviously, this could get Mind Break trapped if my opponent is on Vengevine.deck. All right, so they ended up forcing pitching Oko on the PO, which is fine. Depending on what my opponent does here, if I don't get Wastelanded, if they play like a Deathrite Shaman, I can, or a Noble Hierarch, I can go. All right, so they're gonna hold up Fluster, maybe? Do we beat Fluster? Not sure, actually. We do not beat Fluster. They're most certainly holding up Fluster then. So I think we just have to go with Ancestral because I don't really want to play Tinker into Fluster here. I think it's perfectly fine to just use Ancestral now. Yeah. Let's just use our floating mana. Shouldn't really need... I guess I could theoretically do like a Hercules here, but that doesn't really play into Fluster very well. I don't really think it is worth it. I guess maybe spinning once with a blue mana floating is reasonable, though. All right, we found another PO, as well as a Vamp, as well as a Dress Down, so we're in good shape. I'm gonna just have it be... So I guess theoretically, I can cast an end step PO here. If I use my floating mana and I cast Hercules Recall, activate top hole priority, cast Hercules Recall to target myself, replay all of my Moxen, and then go for an end step PO on their turn. I think I like that idea. It seems reasonable. Yeah, I'm gonna keep my dress down for a Collector Roof. Yeah, all right, so I got the... Fluster Storm. Oh, I guess I technically am not drawing my dress down right now, but I do have a dress down underneath the top. That's why I put the dress down before the Vamp for Collector Roof. Strip Mine. Are they playing a Collector Roof? No, they're playing a Time Walk. I think having them fluster my Hercules is like a pretty big win for me, so it's gonna be like an Archon maybe. Archon would be a little annoying because I kind of have to like do some fetching, but... All Right. I mean, if they're gonna have one card in hand, and I'm gonna go for a PO again. Then I'm gonna ignore the dress down and the vamp and just PO. People playing Bant, huh? Interesting. Do I want to keep this top? Yeah, probably, because I think I want to play it and then PO. Oh, I don't think I want to play into Daze for no reason. We've played around Daze this entire game, right? I think it's perfectly acceptable to just not play the top and draw 3. I can get hit by a fluster here, obviously, but I don't think they have it. So it looks like I could have drawn an additional card if I had played my top first, but um, hmm. The problem here. Hmm. I guess there isn't really a problem here. I can just take this Bolus of Citadel, and I guess I want to float the Bolus at Citadel underneath the Force in case I need the Force. I'm at a pretty high life total, so yeah. So I just do this. I float the Force. I can grab the Force at any point if I need to. If not, I can draw the Force and then draw into the Citadel, cast the Citadel, then cast the top. Well, no, I can't do that because I do need to fetch off this. So not exactly that. So I might have to spin the Citadel back to the top here. They top deck an Archon. All right. Well, that's a good thing to force. It's basically the same deck. There are some small tweaks, but yes. Hmm. All right. So we draw our top. We have to play the top and then draw, and then we lose the top to play the Citadel. And we lost our land drop, but that's probably fine. I guess I didn't need to use this Mana Vault. Oh, maybe I did need to use this Mana Vault. Oh, that's a good one. All right. So found my top. I'd rather not pay 2 life for that. I guess I could take the Sphinx too. If they have swords, I'd rather just take this top. Yeah, sure. Let's thirst. Didn't draw an artifact. I guess Vamp for... Well, I can't cast Vamp right now. Probably just keep Merchant Scroll then. Hmm. 2 life is fine. Snap? What are we snapping? Snap PO? Okay, that's pretty good. Well, I can snap in response to the stress down, which is what I think I'm going to do. Question is, what do I want to target? I guess I can just target this PO and then let the dress down resolve and then PO. Pretty sick. I can also just hold the PO in my yard and just use this PO. Yeah, I was a little worried about that, but whatever. I mean, the ManaTraders match. Should I really mind that much? I don't know. All right, so now we draw our whole deck and we win. What else can we play? We can play... We kind of need blue mana, so I'd rather not use too much blue mana. Probably doesn't matter if we use too much blue mana here. Let's just do a PO for now. And boop. Right. Found another. All right, so we really have drawn our whole deck now. We're just looking for probably a double Citadel kill. We just need to find Yogwill, and we technically have the double Citadel kill right now. We'd like to find a Lotus to make it a little easier as well. So in that case, let's just... I mean, I can just draw into the Sphinx and then attack and with my Sphinx and my Snap and Time Walk or something as well. Let's just PO for another large amount. And that'd probably do it. Yep, just for Doomsday. That's kind of where we're at in life. All right, so what we do is we play out all of our Moxen, load a bunch of mana, sack all of the Moxen and the Citadel to the Yogwill, which we are going to draw off of our top. And then we Yogwill. I need to put one more thing in play. All right, so all of these are in play. I sack them all. 1, 2, 3, 4. Yes. 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. And then I cast Yogwill. And then I replay them all. This is what I'm saying, where a card that is just normally in your deck, like Yogwill, can just be used as your win condition. And then there's like no reason to play bad spells like Tendrils. All right, and then boom, sack 1, 2, 3, 4. 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Not 10? 10. Boom. All right. Yeah, maybe Diesel. I wasn't really paying attention, to be honest. No, Magic Online has chess clocks where both players have 25 minutes to complete a game, which is a much better situation than the whole rope thing that doesn't allow certain decks to be played. I really strongly dislike that. So, what are we gonna do? I think we're gonna leave in both Tinker targets. And we're gonna leave in all of our dress downs. Our dress downs look pretty good in this matchup for sure. I don't really like having a bunch of Flusterstorms versus my opponent, so maybe just like Echoing Truth and I don't know, Hull Breacher, okay. I don't know, the Bant deck is so weird. I'm not even seeing it. I'm trying to go find a deck list, but I guess if I can just look at Binu. Yeah, so three Archon is amazing to me because Archon is the best possible card in the deck. So it's going to be a bunch of Force of Vigors and maybe Fluxes. So I'd like to leave in some Flusters, but not too many. And then they're on just Brainstorm, Ancestral Cruise as their draw spells, and Library. So I'm not super thrilled about a Hull Reacher at all, to be honest. Doesn't really seem like something that's very strong. I think I am just going to submit as we are. Just with the truth instead of the the what's it called? Instead of the Hercules. Let's leave you. Yeah, I mean, this hand is perfectly fine. Obviously, things like Lavinia, Collector Roof, and Archon are all very good against us. But it's nice to play 4 Dress Down in your deck, so that does help with that kind of problem. They're at 4 cards in hand. I think we'll just take a peek, see what's going on here. Opponent has got Swords, Collector, Oko. And we're a little short on PO, but we do have Force, Pitching, Snap. And then we can, yeah, this looks pretty good for us. Unless they draw Force off the top. Or like Fluster off the top. Those are the two that ways this ends pretty badly. Yeah, I specifically did not play a certain deck at the Pro Tour because of the way it interacted with the rope on Magic on Arena. So I definitely understand that one. All right, so you have this, you use this. Did you top deck a Force or Fluster? You did not. But you didn't attack with Noble Hierarch, so you're leaving up Swords to Plowshares, I guess. Yeah, I will take Black Lotus. Maybe I'm supposed to take Demonic. I kind of want to just take Black Lotus because it's an additional thing to pick up. I think I'd rather just fetch this away and PO for max. PO for 5 with replayability. Kind of interesting draws. Where do we want to be with this? Where do we want to be with this? We could just cast Thirst. We could Merchant for Ancestral. It's probably better to just Lotus and Merchant for Ancestral. I don't know. Yeah, I think it is. Not really sure what the difference. Maybe this plays into like a top deck misstep or something. I don't know. All right. Well, we've got lands. We can do it all again next turn. We've got forces and flusters. We're rolling in it. Yeah, I really don't like this Bant deck, but I've said that since it was printed. So they did draw Strip Mine for our island. Not too. Now, do I care about this? It doesn't really feel like I care about this in any capacity. I guess if I get Strip Mine and they hit my Sapphire, it's kind of annoying. So let's just force this. All right, so I assume we're getting Strip Mine, and then we're gonna go to our turn and just like Lotus Ancestral or whatever. So they have Swords, Windswept Heath, and they're very, very dead. Very, very, very dead. Let's actually not do that yet. Let's find some more Moxen before we PO. Do I want this in play? I think so. All right, I've not found any Moxen before this PO. This plan has not gone as according to plan here. All right, that's what I'm looking for. Yeah, that's what we're looking for. All right, this looks good. Let's cast a PO from our yard. 4, 5, 6. Okay. Probably looking at something like, I don't know, Karn Lattice Time Walk or something like that. Doesn't really matter. My opponent is dead. They could concede and save themselves some time, or I can just play through this, which is no problem to me. I like playing through this kind of stuff. I just gotta make sure I don't overdraw. 3, 4, 5, 6. Okay. All right, I'm just going to do Karn. Lattice. Let's just PO back some of this stuff. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. That's fine. I don't play anything that's gonna kill me. All right, my opponent has decided it's finally enough. I don't know why that was the point where it was finally enough, but we did it. So at that point, I'm gonna Lattice Lock and play a Sphinx and Time Walk. And then I'm gonna attack them with a Sphinx and a Lattice, and then activate my Citadel and kill them in 2 turns. So yeah, I mean, it does take a little longer to get to the point when you don't play Tendrils and Storm cards, but why does it matter how long it takes to get to the point? Like, you are always going to have enough time if you're playing at a sufficient pace on Magic Online, so no problems for me. All right, still running our 4-island PO list. We've got a new battler here. Let's see how it goes. Opponent has revealed a Luris of the Dream Den. To me, sounds like mono white. Almost all Luris players are on mono white. There are some interesting ways you can build Luris Breach or like a blue-red aggro Luris deck, but it should be mono white. This hand does not look very good against mono white. I'm looking for like a couple Moxen in my opener, do something powerful kind of thing. That's a lot of dress down. It is a lot of dress down. Guess I'm supposed to keep it. We can find out together how bad is this many dress downs. Guess I'm gonna play this out in case of Thalia. I mean, I could still lose to a mono white Luris deck. Like, my best spell is okay. They have no one draw, no turn 1 play. Kind of weird. I think I'm gonna cycle a dress down here. It's a little weird, but we need to do something before they start playing Hate Bears. Just it's like a preordain kind of. I drew another. All right, maybe 4 is a lot of dress down. All right, should we brainstorm lock ourselves? I kind of think we should. I'm gonna brainstorm lock myself. Perfect. All right. I am gonna keep force because my opponent's deck doesn't play Cavern. I don't know why. Don't ask me why. The mono white Cabal who play Luris don't like Cavern in their deck for whatever reason. So the problem with keeping force is I really want to draw into like a PO. Like I want to go fetch land, time walk, or even like end of turn dress down time walk. Yeah, I'm actually going to get rid of this force. I'm just going to keep this dress down. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to go land, rack, and I'm going to time walk. I guess I could get, what's it called? And what I'm going to do is I'm going to play this Mana Crypt. And then at the end step, I'm going to play this other dress down and just try to find action. PO? Nope. I mean, we cycle through a lot of cards. Maybe we just don't find action and die, but... Alright, that's action usually. Alright, just need to find a PO. Ha! Alright, well, I guess we get Kataki'd and be sad? I don't know. We got a lot of looks there for a powerful card, and we didn't find one. So I guess we'll see how good their spell is here. Okay. That is not the most powerful of the ones. So the first question is, do we spin to see if the one extra card is a PO or a Tinker or something? And then, so if we spin and miss, then we need to use this much to get our fetch through, and we'll still have enough to spin and draw PO. So yeah, I think we are supposed to spin. Yeah, not me. I have not been running at the hottest rate, so I wouldn't be surprised. All right, so now I'm gonna just pay for this Arbiter, crack another land, get a fresh look at my top 3, and I'm looking for any powerful cards, and PO, found a PO, also Island Fluster. All right, so now I draw with my top, and I draw an additional 4, which we already know 2 of those are dead, so it's not the greatest. Yeah. All right, we get another spin, but we can no longer cast a PO with our spin. So kind of looking for, Tinker, Ancestral, Thirst for Knowledge. Rest down, Mystical. So Mystical is Tinker. We might want to float Dress down on top. I mean, we don't have to. We can just pay on their turn and cast Mystical. That is definitely something we can do. We could also just draw and Dress down at the end of their turn. Pretty good too, I think. What I can do is I can float a spin, draw and Dress down, and then throw the Mystical on top so that I'm drawing the Mystical off of Dress down, and then in my upkeep I can Mystical for Tinker, but then I don't have a top. I could just Mystical for PO. Actually, I think no matter what way I do this, if I mystical for Tinker, I'm not going to have a top. I think I'm going to put the dress down on top underneath this mystical, and then maybe we'll do fun things. I'm kind of worried about whatever spell my opponent plays in this turn. I don't want to... yeah, I don't want to make a commitment. All right, so I have... yeah, so dress down is just going to be sick, right? Ghost Quarter is really annoying, though. Okay, so I just let this strip mine go. I don't search. I float a spin. I draw. I dress down. I mystical. On my upkeep, I mystical. I tinker with 12 life. Seems like the best way about this. I could have 9 life off of this crypt, so maybe I'm just supposed to get PO. All right, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to float a top spin, draw a card. I'm going to draw into dress down, resolve my top spin, put the mystical on the top of my deck, cast dress down, draw my mystical. Let's see if I lose 3 life first. I won the flip, so now I can mystical. Don't have to pay anything because dress down is so good. Dress down is unreal magic card. Unreal magic card right there. Is Vintage good right now?
Is Vintage good, RN?
It has some problems. Thank you for the 28 months, Geeky. I hope you're doing well. It definitely has some problems, but it is balanced, for whatever that's worth. So I could put a PO. I can draw 5 off of my PO, including picking up this dress down again. I could Yogg-Will. I have 3 mana. I can put an island back into play, 4 mana. I can PO, Time Walk, dress down. Yogg-Will also seems reasonable here. Probably draws me more cards in the long run. Yogg-Will. PO. Well, can't really use the brainstorm, can I? If I use the brainstorm? Yogg-Will, I have 3 mana. I can't use the brainstorm. I have to use the PO first. Alright, let's try Yogg-Will. I'm interested to try it. I think what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna go Island PO, and then I will Time Walk, and I'll end step dress down for my next turn. Maybe there's a better way to do this. I have to remember I can't search once I pick this dress down up until I play a new dress down or pay 2. Which I guess is pretty problematic. I guess it's not super problematic though. Alright, so I can Hercules here and gain a bunch of mana. Probably correct. So I have... Oh, I have 8 mana, so I could dress down, time walk, end step dress down. Yeah, so let's start with dress down. This can draw us into a PO. I guess I can draw into a PO by going... No, I don't have enough blue mana. Am I really supposed to time walk, end step dress down? Is that really the best I can do? Maybe it's fine. I don't really like how I played this turn, though. Oh, now I can't because I floated all my mana like an idiot. Alright. What do I do then? Yeah, I should have responded to the dress down trigger with a mystical. Yeah. Alright, I fucked this whole turn up. I really hate how I played this. I guess we're gonna cast Thirst for Knowledge. I shouldn't have floated all my mana. I wish I wanted to see how much mana I had, but it ended up costing me. This is definitely a kind of turn that I've never actually done. I mean, I can just pay for Kataki. It's not the end of the world. Like, Kataki is kind of a useless Magic the Gathering card, so it doesn't really matter. It's just kind of annoying that I misplayed this that badly. I basically just have to pay the Kataki tax here because I just screwed up a little bit. Yeah, what I should have done is responded to the dress down trigger with a mystical for PO. I'm pretty sure I had enough mana to do that, and I should have done that. I did draw a whole lot of not gas, a whole lot of fluff, which doesn't really help. But it's just not a sequence that I know anything about, really, is the issue. If I take 3 damage here, I'm at 9, I go to 5. There's like a pretty good chance I lose this game because my deck doesn't really win the game concisely, and I just use my Yogg-Will. I'm also not convinced I was supposed to cast Yogg-Will on that turn instead of like Tinker or PO. I think if I had done the Yogg-Will correctly, maybe it was fine because I would have gotten a PO off of the way the Mystical went. But... Alright, did I PO from my yard? I think Yogg-Will's probably was fine there. I just screwed up. Arn. That's certainly a way to win the game, which is nice. I can't play a Karn and play an end step dress down, so I think I just have to hold up all of this. And then we'll just look for another dress down. Dress down does look really, really good here, so that's nice. I can still force something. Annoying. Yeah. Okay, opponent, this is a legendary creature. It resolves because it saves me 2 life, theoretically, if they sack the wrong one. They also didn't wasteland me, which is nice. Yeah. Okay. Alright, so I am taking 4 and I'm going to 5. Then I could die to this mana crypt. I might have still punted this game away in a way where I'm gonna have a hard time winning, so. Alright, let's definitely cast some dress downs here. Okay, that should be good enough though. So I might have to figure out a way to get rid of this mana. Okay, now I can PO. Okay. Alright, I think we're gonna be fine. I am making my life extremely difficult at every point in this game. So. Though I can't time walk. So I kind of need to... Wait, no, I'm gonna lose because I can't time walk, and I needed to keep one of these dress down so that a Sphinx could block. God damn it. Oh wait, I could get a... Man, I really made this super difficult on myself. All right, I can just get a dress down with my PO. Yeah, I can do that. Yeah. I think I need to draw my whole deck again. There's no reason for me not to pick up both of these, right? I don't think there's a reason not to pick up both of these. Okay. All right. We have a Tinker. We do need to replay a dress down if we want to Tinker, so that's like a reason, but it costs the same amount as replaying a dress down, so don't think that matters much. I also have Snap PO now. No, I can't snap. I should snap before I play my dress down. All right, I might time out this game. All right, now I am worried I might time myself out. Oh my god. This deck is so silly. Oh, Jesus Christ. Sure. Wait. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. We go 7 cards deep here. I probably should have played and tapped a Tolarian there first. Wait, how am I gonna block when they give it a color? Oh, and then I dress down. But then I can't gain life. So I have to dress down. Wait, can I even do this, chat? Is there a way? No, I need to get a blight. Oh wait, I can get a Herc. Where's my Hercules? Is it exiled? It's fucking exiled. Oh, I could have Karn Lattice Hercled, but I exiled my Hercules. Oh, Karn Lattice stops them from activating. So as long as I Karn Lattice and okay, I think we're fine. As long as I Karn Lattice and yeah. Okay, I think we're good here. Karn Lattice and Sphinx. We just do all of them. Oh wait, Karn Lattice just kills them because they have a Kataki in play. Never mind, chat. Karn Lattice is just good enough. All right, I should finish this game. All right. Tolarian, make mana. Karn. I forgot Karn Lattice kills them because they play Kataki, which is hilarious. This is definitely the second time we've done this on stream, and it's gonna be just as awesome this time. I guess we should also still play this thing. All right, I don't have to do anything else, right? I'm done. I'm just gonna F6 and see what happens. All right, so now, yeah, my opponent dies because they have to pay 1 for all of their stuff, and they can't because Their artifacts. All right, beautiful. Thank you, Kataki. Kataki made my life so much easier. And that's kind of how I feel whenever my opponent plays Kataki. I didn't play my Mana Crypt, so I can't die to my Mana Crypt. God bless. All right, I did use all of my clock there, but it was totally worth it. I can just F6, right? Because they can't even cast spells. I have 7 cards in hand. Yeah, we're great. Perfect. All right, to be fair, that one did take an enormous amount of time, but that's mostly because it was a situation I had never seen before, so. It was a little hard to win if they didn't have Kataki, I think. Was it? Oh, it was still fine because they were locked out and we had a Sphinx, so it was probably still. I think the coolest thing would have been if we just had the Hercules recall. So we went Karn, Lattice, Hercules recall our opponent. That would have been dope. Yeah, that one still can't be activated. I love this deck. All right, that was to be fair, I made that really hard because I didn't make a very strong play on my Yogg-Will turn. But we still figured it. I'm telling you, once you draw your entire deck, it doesn't really matter how you win the game. I need to make sure that I restart Magic Online after this match. All right, dope. So that's I do have to make sure I win a little bit faster than that in the future here. What do we do here? What do we do? Hercules out, Fluster out, Echoing Truth in. Maybe we have some Hate Bear blockers. And then I think I'm actually gonna keep Mental Misstep in because they're gonna have paths and stuff and mothers, I guess. I don't know. Seems all right. I'm down. This is how I want to do it. Let's go. I don't think we need a Fluster. We could play a Fluster with like a scroll, but it's probably fine not to have one. I am worried if we restart, the thing will crash. So I'm just gonna, like, if I restart, who knows? Maybe ManaTraders will give me a loss. Of course, I drew my Mental Misstep when I don't really want to draw a Mental Misstep. His hand kind of blows. Yeah, like that. That's my hand. I'm down. Consider me down. I guess the only thing, I mean, they should probably try keeping a better hand this time. Like, keeping a hand that doesn't have a turn 1 play is, like, not very good. All right, they did not keep a better hand this time. Unless they have a Pearl. You have a Pearl? All right, no, they don't have a Pearl. All right, so they're going to die unless they have Mindbreak Trap. We could totally play around Mindbreak Trap if I wanted to. I'm going to actually play Ruby, Pearl, Opal. Maybe we should play around Mindbreak Trap. Playing around Mindbreak Trap is so stupid. LOL. What am I going to do here? I've got all kinds of options. I think we just PO again. Why not draw another 5? Restrict PO. Oh, another one. Actually, I didn't draw a Moxen, so I actually can't cast another one. Yeah, oh, now I can. My opponent's hand is not really keepable. Oh, thanks for the raid, Yama. Hope you're doing well. Oh, I actually had a floating mana. Interesting. I could keep this PO and then I think I'd rather draw a couple more cards. Let's draw some more cards. 1, 2, 3, 4. +1. Okay, now I really didn't draw the Moxen though. But I did draw Tinker. I did draw my 4th PO. Shall we tinker a Sphinx of the Steel Wind then? Seems reasonable. I guess I technically could put a Citadel in play, but this should be fine. What are we gonna do? Play Kataki? Play Luminarch Aspirant? Play Spirit of the Labyrinth? Oh, it's a big old Ray from Yama. Hey everyone, welcome. We're playing yeah, I don't care about that card. Playing some ManaTraders qualifier matches with a pretty threat light PO deck. It's good times, good times. I don't really know what I'm supposed to play here. I don't really think it matters, but I guess we can just pass. I'll probably force Kataki. It puts too many triggers on the stack. Yeah, no worries. Thanks for the raid. Have a good dinner. Yeah, I'm just gonna force this because it just seems annoying to me. I guess I can get swords now that I did this, but whatever. That's fine. That would be annoying though, for sure. So this thing would lose all of its stuff if let's just PO. Seems reasonable. Oh, I can't draw more than one card though. So I only drew one, but I drew a force, so fine. Totally worth, chat. That's true. I could have PO. I don't think I'm playing this game very I'm playing a little fast and loose here, but I just want to win and go to the next game. Yeah, I probably should have just held PO as a swords counter. Probably true. I mean, it is a little. I don't think it's a lot. I would have just drawn into my force anyways. There's no downside to me just like casting a dress down in their main phase, right? Their second main phase. I mean, I might have to pitch to a force if they have a swords, but this is just gonna go away. I could cast Brainstorm right now while I can draw extra cards. That's pretty dope. Dress down is sweet. Dress down is a great time. Highly recommend. Would play again. Should just gotten a Blightsteel. See? No clock problems at all. You're dead. Oh, all right, so here's the trick, chat. If you play the mono white deck, which I don't ever recommend, you need to make sure when you're playing against PO that you're keeping hands that play a turn 1 Thalia. Or like a turn 1 Spirit, or a turn 1, like it has to be on turn 1. You have to find a hand that has land, Moxen, Thalia, usually. And I definitely recommend playing Cavern of Souls, as it makes that play a lot better. But you can't really be keeping these hands that are turn 1 land go. It just doesn't work. It's not at a sufficient power level to actually play against the deck that I'm playing. All right, welcome to our 7th match. We're playing against Laughing Rock. That's a vintage specialist. This hand is greedy, but very keepable, so I'm definitely going to keep it. Has a force, has powerful restricted mana sources, the ability to play most of the spells eventually. Drawing a land or a Moxen on our opening draw is going to make this hand very good, so I'm down to keep it. So it does look like it will be probably Bug, but we'll have to see. All right, we did draw an Ancestral. Unfortunately, we can't really cast that right now, nor would we really want to. We would like to do it with Flusterstorm backup. So what my plan is here is to go Mox, Soul Ring, top, spin top, and look for another blue source for next turn where we have Ancestral plus Fluster probably. We did not find that, which is going to be a problem because we don't have a way to shuffle currently. That's a really, really bad top. I'm not exactly sure how I'm fixing that either. Guess we're just going to have to draw through it with Ancestral, but we can't protect our Ancestral with a Fluster, so it's going to be tough. Going to be tough. That is definitely not what we wanted to see. Especially if they go like Collector Roof with Force back up here, and we lose on the spot. Yeah, we might just lose this game on this turn. I was really hoping to see a land or a Moxen with this top, and I mean, maybe Moxen is like less good, but like all they have to have is Daze or Force. They had neither, so we do get to continue playing Magic, which is nice. I don't think I'm supposed to play into negation, but if I do draw a land, I'd love to be able to play it. I could spin a top again. Look for a third card down. Really hate that play, though. I don't think I have a choice. I think I have to play into a negation. Brainstorm, we know we're locked, so I definitely don't want to cast Brainstorm. So we dug through the 2 cards. The third card down was a Mox, so we have 3 fresh ones on top. All right, beautiful. We've got Islands and Mana Crypt and Sea. We're in a great spot here. I'm gonna just draw so I can play an island this turn. That way I can hold up an end of turn dress down. Maybe I want to order that slightly different, but too late. Not actually too late. I totally could have changed it. But this way, if my opponent plays a second Collector Roof, what I can do... Well, I guess I can't really play an end of turn dress down. I should have spun... then I would have to Brainstorm and get the Underground Sea. So that I still have lines, but the dress down line doesn't actually work. So I probably shouldn't have said that it does. Yeah. This gets Ancestral for them, very likely. But it probably means they're not holding up Flusterstorm, which is going to be nice. Or maybe they'll hold open both. I kind of need... I wonder if I should just Brainstorm and then Vamp. Could just draw my top and then my Mana Crypt and go for a PO, big PO. Not terrible. Though I guess I still would need to fetch away this garbage, though. It doesn't exactly work out the way I'd want it to. So how do I play around Fluster here? I mean, I think they got Ancestral, but they might, if they didn't cast Ancestral, maybe they have Fluster open. Can't really play around Fluster, right? This gives me an additional mana. This gives me additional 3 mana for 1 Fluster. And then I guess I could just play it, right? I could just play straight into it, and they can't counter it. They have to cast Ancestral. I do want to resolve a Vampiric first, so I don't draw the Citadel again, but... like, this gives me... yeah, I mean, this gives me enough to play through it, so I think I should probably do it. It just resolves? And we drew Lotus for Citadel? What could they have Demonicked for? Ancestral, and they just chose not to cast it there? I don't really understand. Well, if this Sphinx resolved, the bug deck shouldn't be able to beat it. I guess what I needed to find out is there any way that I can get counter magic backup for this Sphinx? I could vamp into a top and draw with the top to get a force. And then jam a Sphinx with force backup. Probably winning. I think that's going to be my line. Black mana, vamp. Force. Top. Sphinx. I guess if they have force plus fluster, that would be bad. Okay, they did have force, and they had fluster. So do we think they tutored for an oof, or do we think they tutored for a ancestral? All right, well, I mean, I did this play, so let's follow through with this play. I'm gonna keep the dress down in case they tutor for an oof, and they have a second fluster, and we don't get wastelanded or something. They must have gotten collector oof then, and they would have force. You know, maybe they had force plus, yeah, that kind of makes sense. If they have a force, they have a fluster. But wouldn't you force the paradoxical outcome? I feel like you would force the paradoxical outcome most of the time. Maybe they were trying to get value from fluster. Very interesting. But the main deck Sphinx strikes again, though I think that game would have also been won with the Citadel, so it probably didn't matter. But it's nice when we play against Bug and have the main deck Sphinx, that's for sure. Now, do we actually want to bring in cards? We have like a dead Hercules, but we're already pretty pre-boarded with our dress down life. I've never been a huge fan of like multiple flusters, so maybe we could bring in 2 cards. What do you guys think about like Hold Breacher versus Bug? It's not the greatest, but it's fine. We could bring in another targeted bounce spell, but it doesn't really seem necessary to have an Echoing Truth when you have 4 dress downs. So I'm not really thrilled about that idea. I mean, Narset's not really great against Bug, so it's kind of easy to take that out. I can't really protect a Narset. So maybe this is how I want to do it. Not all the Hold Breachers. Normally, I'd like to bring in Needle, but I don't think Needle is necessary when I don't really care about Wasteland, right? Like, it can get Deathrite Shaman, and it can hit Oko, but do those matter that much? I don't really feel like they do. It's kind of weird because a lot of my sideboarding heuristics have kind of gone away with the inclusion of 4 main deck dress down. So I kind of have to like reevaluate all the things that I used to do. I'm gonna go with this. I'm going to keep both Tinker targets. I kind of like that a lot. I don't think I need more than 1 Fluster, and I don't think I want Needle. So, yeah, this makes sense to me. I don't know, Bert. I mean, I'm thinking I'm probably going to play PO this weekend, but I don't really think it's, like, a super good choice. I actively think if you play Saga in PO, it's a bad choice. But, I don't know. For me, I haven't found any success recently with any other deck, so I'm gonna just play PO. Like, I played a lot of leagues with random, good decks. I played Bug, I played Doomsday, I played Hollowvine, and I just did not find them to be enjoyable or successful. So, for me, obviously, there's no reason you can't play those decks. I guess I just should let this resolve, right? Ina doesn't feel like there's a good reason to counter it. Maybe that'll end up being too greedy in the end, but kind of interested to find out. Yeah, see, I just draw Dress Down. I think... Do I want to actually probe and draw all three of these? I don't really want to draw the next Hull Breacher. But I might want to just hold this probe. I'm going to hold the probe. Could also do something like Vamp for Ancestral, probe into Ancestral. Wasteland. Now I really don't want to Vamp, though. But the problem is Vamp is my only way to not draw that Hull Breacher. I guess I could just fetch another island. Maybe that's actually fine. All right, let's see what Laughing Rock has in store for us. Vigor, Force of Will, Oko, Emerald. I mean, I still drew a Hull Breacher? I drew the exact... I shuffled the Hull Breacher back to the top of my library? Magic Online. Magic Online. Magic Online. Man. So sad. Don't think I want to use my Dress Down now. I think I'd rather just naturally draw here. That's fine. All right, well, now I have at least something to do with my Dress Down if I want to. I don't want to do it in the middle of their turn so they can play an Oko. That would be not ideal, but... I do think I want to just cycle here, though. Maybe play Hull Breacher on my turn. They might even force this Dress Down or Vigor the Dress Down on my upkeep or something. Which I think it would be interesting. I do need to block and kill this at some point. But they probably won't attack if... Alright, so this just resolved. I wonder if they're interested in Vigoring me. I drew another one of my 3 black spells after fetching Island. Not ideal. Alright, they just let it happen. Interesting. Okay, so I have all kinds of options here, really. I'm thinking we're just looking for a Tinker. So I guess Force of Vigor makes that a little annoying. I think what I'm going to do is I'm just going to slam a Hull Breacher now. And then we'll just Vamp for a Tinker at the end step so I don't get wastelanded. And I have double Force backup. They have double Force probably, but that's not a huge deal. They're going to force the Hull Breacher. Interesting. Oh, they've pitched a Gush. So their hand is Vigor, Oko. This is fine, right? I don't care. Just don't care. Well, I guess if they hold open Wasteland, then Tinker doesn't work. So maybe I care. Hopefully they just draw a land and play an Oko. That would be ideal. Perfect. Just as we drew it up. All right, well, they're gonna hopefully slam this Oko and then we win. I'm gonna let it resolve, because who cares? take 5 and I go to 6 and I go to... Oh, do I almost die? I don't know. I should be fine, right? I didn't actually do the math on my life total here. I'm going to go to 6. I'm going to go to 5. I'm going to go to 3. Should be fine. Well, I mean, that's the whole reason it's played, is because it has pro red and green. That is the point. Tinker, please. And I have double force backup. So how do I lose? Brazen Bar or Flusterstorm or something? If I were them and I did draw a green card, I probably would have tried to Force of Vigor my Pearl. I don't know if they drew a green card or not, but if they did draw a green card, they were probably supposed to try to Force of Vigor my Pearl. Demonic Tutor. That seems like it could be a way where things end bad. I'm just going to force it. Should just be game here. I don't need to kill Oko, right? All right, so their last card is Vigor. And yeah. I guess Oko makes the clock annoying. Because of... Oh, no, they can't activate this ability because there's a Collector Oof in play. God, I love... I love Collector Oof. Very nice. All right, I'm just going to attack them then. I'm not going to fetch in Demonic because that will... Oh, it doesn't actually turn off Force. Never mind, I'll fetch in Demonic then. Why don't we get... I don't know. Bluster? Yeah, they're 2 turns from dead. Their Collector Roof has turned off their thing. Yeah, this looks like game to me. I really... I don't actually have to fluster this, but it's pretty reasonable. I could draw 2 things that answered my Sphinx, and then I would be not happy. Not that they play 1 thing that answers my Sphinx, so I don't think it matters. Very happy with how I played this game. Very happy with how I played this game. If this is what the bug matchups are going to look like, I can get down with this deck. I could dress down with this deck. Hey. All right. We got him. Ah, this deck might be playable. It might be playable. All right. Round 9. I think I forgot a round at some point, but we're 5-3 right now. 2 wins in a row would put us into the Swiss, which would be dope. And then we'll just play a bunch of matches for leaderboard and for fun. It'll be a good time. This hand obviously has turn 1 Tinker, so we're going to keep. A nice part about having the Sphinx in the main deck is if we end up against like Bug or this deck, where they're gonna have Force of Vigor, we don't even have to think about like, oh, what if our Citadel gets Vigored? We can just get a Sphinx. Though, unfortunately, this will play into Mindbreak Trap depending on what kind of Bazaar Baghdad they're on. But, I mean, if we draw Force... Okay, they're on Dredge. They have Unmask? Oh, they have fucking Chalice. Alright, well, that's annoying. Helps us play around Mindbreak Trap, though. All right, I'm gonna just play the basic island and the soul ring, and then we'll pass, and then we'll tinker a sphinx and hope it's good enough. It'll be a fun time. All right, we'll have to see how bad this dredge goes for us. There's only dredging 3, and they missed. They did make a black creature that they can eat, so they are gonna Goyf. They're gonna not Goyf. They're gonna Icarid back Grief and bring back a prized amalgam, but they don't have any dredgers currently, and I don't feel like they could have drawn 1 for this draw. Oh wow, they had 2 shambling shells and they have a therapy in their hand. Okay, so if, depending on how good they are at Cabal therapy, we'll have to see. It's always dangerous to say things like, depends on how good they are at Cabal therapy. Oh my god, they hit double bridge. It's pretty good. I would assume they would name Force of Will or Pio, but I actually don't think Tinker is a completely unreasonable name, especially seeing as they have a Chalice on 0, so Pio is less powerful. I think Tinker is a totally reasonable name here, so if we get wrecked, we get wrecked, but I think Force, but do you need Force? I don't know. Yeah, if you didn't have Chalice, it's not unreasonable. What did they name? What they name? Oh, they haven't resolved it yet. Yeah, maybe I would have forced the Chalice. That's fair. Let's see. Survey says Force of Will. All right, we're safe. All right, I mean, we're not safe. They could easily have Negation blue card or Force blue card, and then we will lose the game on the spot. But if they do not have those, we get a Sphinx, which should be winning. I haven't played enough of this spot to know for sure if a Sphinx is winning here, but I assume it is. I'm gonna use this, I guess. Yeah, I'm not 100% sure. All right. I'm definitely not gonna get a Citadel. I think a Sphinx is better than a Citadel here. I guess I could have not played my land and gone for a Citadel, but there's a Chalice on 0 in play. Yeah, I'm just gonna get a Sphinx and we're gonna pray it's good enough here. I don't actually know if it's good enough, so 2 bridges, 1 dredger, an Icarid. It might not be good enough. The thing is, I do have a Snapcaster, not me, so I could Snapcaster in and block to get rid of the bridges. So that might help. We have to figure out if they make too many things first. Because they're gonna therapy again here, and they hit another bridge and a Narcomoeba and another therapy. So we might just lose. I feel like they have hit quite well, though. They've only gone through half of their deck, and they've hit 3 bridges, 3 therapies. So, yeah, not good. We'll have to see, though. I mean, they're going to make 6 zombies here. I can draw... I don't have Echoing Truth. Never mind, I can't draw Echoing Truth. I don't think this Sphinx wins, which is sad. It would be nice to steal game 1 from Dredge after getting Chaliced on turn 1, but I guess if we draw Time Walk, we would get Walk, Snap Walk. Oh, they're gonna come in with these cards. All right, I'm gonna block a zombie, so this would just come back with this amalgam. This would just going to die anyways. This is not going, yeah. So block a zombie here. Go up to 23, down to 16. Yeah, this looks bad. Down to 15? I did math wrong. I do get to go back up to 21, but they will get 3 more zombies. Oh, I'm going to lose my Snapcaster because of Cabal therapy. Yeah, I think my opponent just hit too well, hitting double bridge, triple therapy for my Sphinx plan to win. I don't know what I can draw now to get me out of this. I don't actually think chills is the issue. I think they just beat me without chills. They actually have like double Icarid next turn, triple bridge. It's just not good that they had triple bridge in their top 29. No, Blightsteel like not winning there is why you don't usually board in Blightsteel against Dredge anymore. The thing I could have done is I could have gone for Citadel, but I don't really know if that is a good play. I think if my opponent hadn't hit 2 more therapy... Oh, they didn't use the second therapy. I don't think it matters, though, because I can't get rid of these stupid bridges because they took my Snapcaster Mage. And the only reason I couldn't play the Snapcaster Mage was because there's a Chalice, so I didn't have enough mana. This is sad. Yeah, it's kind of weird because they didn't hit like a very powerful set of Dredge cards, but they did hit a very powerful set of like the bridges. They also hit 3 Narcomoebas and 3 Icarid. Yeah, like their Dredgers weren't that good, but the cards they hit were good. And I just can't clock them because they keep getting Narcomoebas. Yeah. I should make sure I dress down at the end of turn here so that... Because they can't Vigor. Alright, I can kill an Amalgam because... I mean, should I even kill an Amalgam? I don't know. I think we're just dead, right? Unfortunately, the Echoing Truth is not in my main. I guess if we drew Time Walk into... I don't even think that's good enough. Doesn't even look like they have Creeping Shells in their main deck, no, which I think is very odd. Oh, I meant to play this dress down before this Cabal Therapy. I guess I can still do that. They can still cast another therapy, though, so it doesn't actually help me. Maybe? I mean, they're just gonna sack it to the Cabal Therapy. Yeah, I don't know if we have anything substantial to get us out of this. The only card I can think about is like Ancestral into Time Walk, into Yogg-Will Time Walk, but they still have double Narcomoeba blockers. And we don't have any more creatures in our deck to get rid of the bridges. Ensnaring Bridge, sure. Alright, we're just dead. We're just dead. Alright, unfortunately, Tinker was not good enough here. I haven't seen a Dredge player in a while. The only one I see is like Karate. I guess Jerry. Alright, well, we have 4 needles now, which is a lot of needles. I like Echoing Truth as well. I do kind of like having both Tinker targets. I don't really think there's a good argument to having Karn anymore. Dress Down's like atrocious, I think. I don't really know if there's any value in Dress Down at all. I guess like the Icarid. How does Icarid read? Oh, come on. At the beginning of the end step, sack it. At the beginning of your upkeep. Okay. So that doesn't really help us, I don't believe. We can put in a Breacher. Maybe we just want to put in like a couple of flusters. Fine. Though we don't really have a way to beat a hollow one with this current configuration, do we? I mean, I guess we just Sphinx like always, right? I don't really like the way this deck is configured to play against Dredge, but Dredge is also not a huge metagame share, so it doesn't really make sense to configure it in a way that's good against Dredge. Ugh. People admitting to stream sniping. Kind of whack. Kind of whack. I played that guy a lot, if I recall. Yeah, you know what? We'll just bring it up here because this seems pretty reasonable. I've played versus Kazuga a lot, I believe. I've always done it and will always do it. I don't see a point in playing if I don't take the free advantage. Oh, I have them blocked. Noted. Okay, I guess I have to remember though that I need to put a hand hider up first them. All right, back to the Maxtron hand. What do we got? We've got a pretty solid Merchant Scroll hand, but no way to play these Moxen. I can go Emerald, Mana Vault, Merchant Scroll, and Ancestral, but that would run in like very heavily into Mindberry Trap, Force of Negation, Force of Will. So I kind of think this hand should just go back. Look for like a Pithing Needle hand. Keep drawing all these black cards. There's not really where I want to be. I don't even think this is good. I think I would mulligan this hand as well. They kept their 7-card hand, which is basically cheating. All right, well, I have to play Vampiric Tutor apparently. So the problem here is if I don't play the Needle on turn 1, they just dredge and kill me. So it's, I don't know. I think we're just dead. We've had some really bad mulligans today. I mean, our first hand was fine. It was just not good against Dredge, which I guess is one of the problems with Dredge. Wait, they just kept a 7 and are going to discard? You're not supposed to do that. All right, I guess I'm not searching up Needle. I don't even have a Tormod script in my 75 or a way to hit my, like I decided to play 0 ways to hit the graveyard, so maybe that was a mistake then. I don't know. I guess I'm just gonna go Ancestral here. They just went for the 7-card keeper with Golgari Grave Troll, huh? Interesting. Yeah, I mean, no point in me getting a Needle. I drew my Sphinx, so this game is looking quite bad for me. I mean, maybe they knew that I had no non-Needle graveyard hate, I guess. I don't really know. All I know is I think we're going to lose this game by a large amount, so... like a significant amount. I think we're going to lose by a lot. Yeah, if I had known this is what was going to happen, I could definitely have kept my turn 1 hand and my 7-card hand, and we definitely would have crushed them. But I didn't really put this within the range, to be honest. So probably on me, I guess. It's not really something you see in Vintage because it's just not exactly a powerful play. Like if I was playing, I guess like a PO deck's probably not gonna have Late Line of the Void, but I don't know. Very weird. Very weird. Now I have all these dead needles in my deck. I guess I have to draw Black Lotus, right? And then hard cast a Sphinx and hope it's good enough. And then, I mean, already they have one therapy or two therapies in our bridge, but they won't be activating twice. So, yeah, I'm aware it costs a lot of mana. What other choice do I have, right? Unfortunately, we're gonna get double therapied here, and I don't really know. I guess they might not double therapy us. They might only single therapy us. Why do they have a Bazaar in their graveyard? Because they dredged it. They kept 7-card Golgari Grave Troll, moved to hand size. For better or for worse, that is what they chose to do. I'm gonna let the second one go if they therapy us. I guess we could tinker for a Citadel in this situation, but I mean, I assume they have like some amount of interaction. Maybe they have nothing. Yeah, I have also probably never seen anyone do it in Vintage in recent history. But it's certainly working against me because my hate is all needles. If my hate was all Tormod scripts, I would have been a very happy player. But my hate is not all Tormod scripts. How about a Tinker? Tinker? Nope, just a bunch of needles. Yeah. Like I said, I think we're going to lose this game horribly because my mulliganing and my sideboarding just line up very poorly against it. And it is Grave Troll, so it is 6, you know. They haven't hit any more Narcomoebas or any Icarids, so that's been pretty lucky for us. But we haven't really hit anything after Vamping for Ancestral, so... Like, I'm gonna draw this needle, and then I'm gonna spin, and then if there's nothing there, where am I even going, right? Are you ready to therapy us yet? No. Dredge as Garfield. Yeah, maybe. Maybe. It's really sad because all I need to do... Wait, they discarded an Icarid. Ah! Damn, this is a wild game. I don't know why I used that mana, but alright. Well, I have a plan. There is a plan. I have a plan for PO things. So I get a Soul Ring, and then I draw into PO, and then I draw 3, which is not a large number, but I think it has to happen. Yeah. Oh, they do have Creeping Chill in their deck. Wow. They didn't hit a Creeping Chill in the top, what, 45 cards in game 1? Kinda interesting. They did hit another bridge, though, which is bad for the home team. I think we're very dead. Yeah, I don't really see how I can ever get out of this now. Yeah, it's definitely, it feels bad, but it's also like I could have avoided this with simply playing a Tormod script or a Soul Guide Lantern, because I mean, how many Pithing Needles did we see off top? One of them had to have been a Tormod script, right? I just felt like Tormod script and Soul Guide Lantern weren't very good against Hollowvine, so I would rather just play 4 Needles. But maybe you're not really allowed to play 4 Needles if Dredge exists, because they don't care as much about Needles if you're not on the play and have already resolved it. I mean, it could have been the same needle every time. It's nothing we can know. This might make me reconsider my 4 pithing needle strategy. Maybe I'll play 1 Tormod script so that I can tutor for it. I don't know. It kind of feels like I might have made a mistake in deck building, though. I just, like, have never seen this before, so... It's just quite an interesting set of things that happened here. This doesn't really get us far, but it kind of clears cards off the top, so... I just hate Soul Guide Lantern. I did have a Soul Guide Lantern, and I cut it, because it was never useful. And, like, it was just so bad against Hollowvine, and I wanted more things versus Hollowvine. So they did have Vigor this whole game. Wild. Like, what is... Like, Soul Guide Lantern just always does nothing. I don't know what to say. Alright, well, my opponent actually kept a hand that had Trap and Vigor, so... Maybe the hand was just sick, and I had no idea. Alright, that was a pretty disgusting match. We got actually wrecked. I guess we need to change our sideboard here. Alright, so here's our 10th match of the ManaTraders. We did change one of our needles to a Soul Guide Lantern so that that doesn't happen to us again. Though I assume our opponent will be playing Bug. Let's see what happens. This hand is just complete Garbo. Let's try again. This hand is not complete Garbo, but it has some issues. This looks like an Ancestral on their upkeep kind of hand. I'm gonna get rid of Narset and look for like Mystical Tinker, especially with our counter sweep backup plan here. Gonna play Ancestral, even though we could Ancestral on our turn and we wouldn't overdraw. I don't think there's any reason to play it into negation, so I would rather just play it on their upkeep, and they can only have Misstep or Force, which we have Misstep covered, so I definitely think it makes sense to Ancestral on their upkeep. Island. Ancestral. Dope, we found another island. Alright, so they are on Bug, as expected. Let's see if they play turn 1 Collector Roof. They do. Alright, I mean, we have it covered. We don't really care too much about it. I really like how this deck seems to have some hands that can kind of just, like, fight through a Collector Roof pretty well. I'm gonna just Time Walk and look for a redraw here. And then we'll figure out some way to get a Tinker and some extra mana, maybe. What are we gonna do? Because we don't have enough mana to Tinker. I'd like to Tinker with, like, Fluster backup, if possible. It's too bad. We really need... Oh, it's Bant. Okay, interesting. I don't need to force this, but I don't think it's, like, unreasonable either. I kind of want them to force back so we can just throw a Fluster down and be pretty happy with our lives. Alright. I just don't think we have valid mystical targets here, right? Oh, they chose not to attack into a possible Snapcaster Mage. I think that's trauma, because I believe I've done that to them before. I think we just need to naturally draw into more mana sources before we're allowed to do other things. I guess if we had an off-color Moxen, we could, like, dress down. Yeah, I'm gonna just draw again. That's our worst possible, because I just can't cast it. Yeah. I wish I could have, like, Mystical for something reasonable here, but Okay, I mean, we're playing around this wasteland very well by not having I'm just kidding. I'm just playing with you. I don't have a Snapcaster. Sorry. Maybe that is that rude? Gotta make him feel it. All right. All right. Can I get a land or even a Moxen is fine? Not an opal. All right, land. Perfect. 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 All right, we're good to go here. Though we probably want. Man, it's gonna be really hard to pay with Fluster backup though. Now I'm trying to tinker here. But I think opponent has a force of will, which is going to make it difficult unless they tap out. Vamp for Snapcaster is like pretty reasonable, but I will get my Wasteland. I get Wastelanded, unfortunately. I guess I could. I think they have a force of will, which makes this really tough. Even if I had a land, or even if I had Fluster, I don't think I can pay for it. And I don't think. I mean, think they could. I think they could pay for it as well. I could mystical for thirst for knowledge, I guess. I hate all of these lines. Let's get a tinker. What am I tinkering for? I guess that's another question. No, if I could get Ancestral Recall, I would have gotten Ancestral Recall for sure. Oh. I didn't really think about that, but that actually works out pretty well for us. I definitely wasn't thinking about that. So now I might get a Snapcaster. Snap Ancestral and blocks. Kind of sick. Is that better than just getting a Tinker, though, and getting a Citadel? Kind of feels like it's not. I'm at 11. Maybe it is. Oops, I didn't really realize I was at 11 after that. Maybe we can just get Sphinx. See if it resolves first. I feel like they have a force. Hard cast days. Yeah, you got it. In the Savannah deck? Of course. Why not? Alright, well, it's gonna be a pretty tough game to win here. I wish I drew that. I don't think I was super beating days. Maybe I was supposed to do the snap thing. It wasn't an unreasonable line by any means. What is this? End of turn dig? Oh, end of turn hard cast endurance. Guess we'll just force it. Well, I think we have winning chances with like a Yogwill maybe. Like, oh, I'm gonna go for an end of turn dress down, and then we'll see what happens. I think we're pretty dead though. I'm pretty surprised. I don't feel like our opponent did very much in this game, but I guess we did less. Maybe the Wasteland play was just too bad, and I punted away. Had to fetch for a basic island and then do it. I'm not really sure. I guess they have Hardcast Vigor unlocked with this. It's kind of not great. I mean, I just drew the blanks. Drew some more blanks. Anyone got any blanks? I'm not sure I played this game correctly, so it's probably on me. Weird, because the oof didn't really matter very much. It just attacked for 2 a bunch, and that was good enough. I think the Vamp was just super bad play. Maybe I think the Vamp was probably the problem. Should have just fetched an island. Well, then I can't even go the Snapcaster line, so maybe not. Oh, they're still in main? Yeah, okay. Sylvan Library. Alright. Guess I theoretically can keep playing. Nah, I'm off it. Let's just go next. I don't feel like we should have lost that if I played better. What did we do for this one last time? We did Echo for Hercules, and then we might have played some Hull Breachers. Yeah, the days is definitely an issue all of the time, for sure. We needed one more land at all points so that we could play Fluster. I could have waited a turn and then gone for an end of turn dress down to open up our Moxen. Maybe that would have been a better play. Like, we can still Mystical for Tinker, right? But then we can just hold the Tinker until the next turn and then dress down end of turn. Yeah, but I don't really want to, like, the nice part about the way I cast the Mystical was that I couldn't really get flustered at the time, but not sure. All right, what do we got? This hand's kind of gross, but not horrible somehow. I think it's supposed to be a keep. We're probably just using the vault to, like, Lotus out a Thirst, but it's a little weird. I think it's a keep, though. Would definitely be bad if we had gotten Misstep. That is for sure. Okay, well, now I'm definitely not doing what I just said because they're just holding open Fluster. Their list is not the same as the last list. Wow, I really want to Tinker here, but I think they have Flusterstorm. All right, I can't Tinker here. I don't think that will work out. I think it's pretty likely, like, the chances they have Force and Fluster there are pretty high. Oh, baby! Rishu. Would you like to concede? You may concede. You may concede. You may concede. No concession. Wow, that's impressive. Put 2 cards back. I get 3 treasures. Is can someone has to link the quote. Where is the quote, chat? Someone has to link the quote. No, you have to probably do quote or something. I don't know how. Got him. It's funny because their deck really doesn't have that many draw spells, so bringing in Hull Breacher is already kind of weird. Like, bringing in Hull Breacher against them is not exactly advisable, but it does, like, does have some play. I kind of just like it as an ambush viper a lot of the time, so I'm walk, why not? I do have to now win, which is annoying. Lavinia was their last card. Interesting. Yeah, I mean, that's definitely true. It is a extremely high variant. Aha, we found it, chat. No, they conceded before I got to play my Sphinx. Like, I don't even think it's right to bring in all 3 Hull Breachers in this matchup, but they do have a Sylvan library. Pretty good against Sylvan library. Maybe I'm wrong. Maybe I'm wrong. What if I'm wrong? What if I'm wrong? I don't think it's good. They have like Ancestral, Ponder, Brainstorm, Sylvan Library, Treasure Cruise. 4 draw spells? Too funny. Nah, I've never been. Yeah, that's true. That's true, Thunder. You're not wrong. I have never been wrong, so I shouldn't even entertain the idea. I'm just gonna keep in 2, you know? That's fine. That's true. That's true. But you know you can't fluster a dress down, so. Ugh. Not like this. I mean, this hand's probably pretty good against a Collector Roof hand, but can't imagine I'm supposed to ever keep it. As I proceed to go all in and die. Fuck, man. I mean, yeah. Turn 1. Oh, every time they have a Moxen. Every time. Oof. No oof. Ooh, drew the Force. Watch us get dazed on this Black Lotus, though. Didn't get dazed. See if we get misstepped. They have misstep? No! I want that. No, my soul ring. All right, well, can we ban misstep? Stop the unrestrict misstep talk. How about the ban misstep talk? All right, well, that certainly didn't go as planned. Never mind, always had it. Now, do we think they have Force of Vigor? Because they were pausing like they had Force of Vigor. Feel like I should get a Sphinxy boy here. I'm gonna get a Sphinx here. I'll be mad if I get Swords, I guess, but I did just shuffle away my Ancestral. I don't know. I feel like losing to Vigor is kind of dumb. Doesn't really seem like a risk I should take. Yo, what's up, log? We were just talking about missing you. Chat misses betting. That's what chat misses. And they missed you because you were the face of betting. I played around Strip Mine by having no lands. Can't queue off this match, right? Because this will only get me to 6 wins. But 6-4 is fine. Yeah, I'm too lazy. Look at that. Boom. I was whitelisted as all hell in that game. I don't know if I could get more whitelisted in that game. It's pretty impressive. So some of my luck came back in that one. All right, we're 10 games in now. How do we feel about this deck after 10 games? The main board Sphinx, I've liked. I've liked the main board Sphinx tech. The Thirst, probably doesn't not. What is Sphinx specifically good against? Bug, Oko, Dak, Force of Vigor. Those things. I don't know. I like this list. I'm a fan. I don't know what chant command is. I'm gonna keep saying it. It's the main board. I have 2 boards. One is main and one is side. And one is quite a bit bigger than the other. You can't stop me. I'm the streamer. Yeah. What is this? I've never seen this. Wait, it just lets people spam? You can just hit the button to spam? Wow, that's a bold new addition to Twitch. All right, okay, I can dig it. I can dig it. Yeah, back on track. Do we want to make any more changes? I mean, I think this Thirst for Knowledge could probably be any other blue card. I mean, historically, I like having 4 Flusters in the 75. I've liked having only two in the main, though. I've liked having only 2 in the main, though. I don't know. Let's take a quick peek at other blue cards and see if they solve any problems. I guess I could have another artifact in the deck as well. I don't think there's any reason to play mainboard creatures because we're playing so many dresses. Kind of feels like that would be not great. There are other planeswalkers we could play, like Saheeli, Dovin, Ashiok. But yeah, we could play Jace the Mind Sculptor. Well, the problem is Thought Monitor is pretty bad with Dress Down, so. Thirst didn't really come up, no. It didn't really come up. Maybe we should just play the Dig Through Time in that slot. No, PO historically doesn't play Delve spells, and this deck doesn't even have Preordain, so I find it to be quite difficult, but maybe it's possible to just play Dog Through Time. I think we're going to try Dig Through Time as the next spot yet. I haven't really tested it. I just thought theoretically there was possibility it was not castable. So, let's do a quick run through though. Could always play like a Mindbreak Trap. That's totally reasonable. Could just play a Preordain, but I hate Preordain. I mean, we could always play the Remora, but I kind of wanted another Merchant Scroll target. The card I took out was Repeal, I didn't find I really needed repeal when I played 4 dress down. Yeah, but I already cut the repeal, so. Play a little predict action. Yeah, I'm pretty happy with the way this is set up. Misdirection. Not really a misdirection gamer. I think it makes sense to try dig through time in that slot next. So that's what I'm going to do. This is going to be... This might end up being the 75 I registered for the showcase because after tonight, I'm going to go camping tomorrow. Then I'll be back here on Saturday for the showcase. Then I'll be back camping. So I don't think I'll have any time to play any more games before the showcase. So I think this might end up being the 75 I registered for the showcase. I think I like this better than Esper. Just having a billion islands has been so nice. Like maybe we're like, it's possible we're supposed to play Tundra Mentor. But Mentor is also a little annoying with dress down. So I'm kind of happy with the low win con version that we played. I'm pretty down. Have I decided that 4 dress down was too many? No, I haven't really felt that way very often. I've definitely felt that 4 dress down was the right number most of the time, which is interesting to me. I thought it would be too many, but I haven't really felt that way. I could see it being too many if I played more colors. Like if I played 2 Tundra, I could see dress down being less appealing because white has some decent removal spells, but this card is dumb flexible. Like, it does a bunch of random things. It works with PO. It cycles. It has some nice timing windows where you can, like, hold open spells. Against Doomsday, it's pretty nice to be, like, playing Hull Breacher dress down sideboard games. It feels good. Yeah, I'm just in on it. All right, that is going to be the end of my video today. If you're watching on YouTube, make sure you like, comment, and subscribe. Help out the algorithm. Boost the numbers, and make sure that you're here Saturday, 1 p.m. Eastern for the Vintage Showcase. That's the last showcase of Season 2. If I don't get in the top 8 of that event, I will not be in the Mox qualifier unless I win a last chance qualifier again, which would be pretty crazy, but don't count it out, I guess. And unfortunately, it'll be the last showcase for Vintage until at least 2020 because they've already announced that Season 3 Mox will contain Pauper instead of Vintage, a decision that I am really not happy about, but did see coming, so I had braced myself a little bit for. So, yeah, big game tomorrow, Saturday. Not tomorrow. Tomorrow's not Saturday. On Saturday, big Vintage Showcase happening, so I will see you there.